Hey everyone, today I want to share with you what happened when I hired my first life coach. So I'm going to take you back to 2016 when I was a labor and delivery nurse and I was in not the greatest of marriages. And my soul was telling me that I was meant to do something else in life. I was meant to help people in a bigger way than what I was doing as a nurse. And I was also a bikini bodybuilder at the time. And I was on training with a team, and some of the other women were hiring this woman who they called a life coach, which I had no idea what that was back then. And this life coach was helping my friends to brand themselves and create their own business cards and websites and start businesses and helping them work through life struggles. And that was really intriguing to me. And I was like, I want to work with this woman. I want a personal person on my life team that I can go to whenever I need help. So I checked out her website, still had no clue what she did, and reached out to her and said, hey, listen, I've been sitting on this business idea for a while. I'd love to share it with you and see if maybe it's something that you can help me with. And so we got on a discovery call together, and I told her all about my vision for being able to guide and help pregnant women through yoga, and then also like journal prompts and meditations and everything to get them ready for their upcoming labor, because I had felt as a labor and delivery nurse that there wasn't enough support and education and training and prep to get someone ready for their labor journey. And so, I saw a gap and I wanted to fix this gap through my own business. Um, and then her name was Lilia, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love this idea. Yes, I'd love to help you with this. So I hired her on the spot. We were just doing month to month. I was paying her only $350 back then, which is so cheap for everything that she did for me. And it's so funny because I thought that I was going to her to help me build an online business, which is, absolutely what she helped me to do. And I quickly became very successful at that, and at finding paying clients and, growing my business through testimonials and referrals and everything. But really what my soul was craving and knew later on that I was going to need help and support with was helping me to go through a messy divorce and navigate my new normal after that, and also helping me to grieve getting fired in my nursing career. I didn't know these things were going to happen. Even I met with a psychic and she said, 3 months from now, something really big is going to happen in your business. And I was thinking like, oh, I'm going to get a book deal, or I'm going to be on a reality TV show. And the reality is that I got divorced and fired at the same time. And that was the universe pushing me out of my old life so that way I could, step into my brand new life. And I am so grateful to have been working with my life coach during that time. She was there for me every step of the way. I cried so many times on our sessions, and I just felt so lost. I felt broken. All my friends and my family were saying, do this, don't do that, which was so completely unhelpful and unuseful. And she really helped me to figure out, well, Krista, what do you want to do next? And it really empowered me in that way, in a way that no one was able to do for me. And so I felt for the first time that I started to trust myself, that I could create my own life on my own terms. And I didn't have to build a life for anyone else or listen to what anyone else was telling me to do, which is just absolutely priceless, and is the best money I've ever spent with my coach. This is what I tell people now, is like, it is the best investment you can make for your health, for your happiness, for your sanity, for your future, for your relationships, is working with a personal life coach. And what I ended up deciding to do was sell all my stuff, and I traveled all over the world for 2 years to figure out who I really was at 30 years old, and what I truly wanted, and who to identify outside of being a military nurse and a labor and delivery nurse. And during that time, I found out that I also too wanted to be an online life coach as well, which I never would have saw coming. I ended my first stretching for two pregnancy business and then started training to become an online life coach. And that is what I do now today. I work online with hundreds of women all over the world. Most of the women I work with are also women that feel called to become life coaches, but usually I work with someone who has a calling, has a passionate desire to create some type of business that's going to help someone else in some way. And it's just it's the dream job. I wake up every day so excited to work in my business and so excited to talk with my clients. And I wouldn't be where I am today without working with my first life coach. So, you may ask, why are you telling us this story, Krista? It's because I truly believe that anyone who feels called to become a life coach also deserves to work with their own personal coach, because as you go on this journey of becoming a life coach, so much of your personal stuff is going to come up. And also, you're probably going to go through a spiritual healing crisis, just like I did as well, where whether you plan it or not, the toxic relationships and friendships are going to end, and maybe you leave or get fired from those soul sucking careers. So that way you can make space for the life that you're really meant to have, and being able to have someone to help you navigate and guide that so you don't have to do it alone it's just the best feeling in the world. Because otherwise, like, I don't even want to know what would have happened or what I would have done if I hadn't worked with my first coach during that time. So she just is so important to me, and it just felt so good to have someone on my team. And so, like I said, that's why I also do this for women now. And it's funny because I have women all the time reaching out to me saying, I want to make more money, I want to find coaching clients, I want to become a life coach, kind of these more surface level things. And then what ends up happening is they really end up working on themselves, and they walk away from our time together falling in love with themselves and feeling confident and speaking up and having boundaries and improving their relationships. And, of course, we help them to honor their original request of becoming a life coach, building a successful online coaching business. But it's all those other like personal things that they walk away with that they find so meaningful. So I hope that this was useful and helpful for you, especially if you're thinking about hiring your own life coach. I definitely say do it, trust your intuition, even if you're like, I'm not entirely sure what a life coach does or how they're going to help me. I didn't know that either, but just my intuition was saying, hire this person, and this is going to be the best investment you ever make in yourself. And hands down, it was. And maybe I'm that person for you. If you've been following my journey and watching a lot of my YouTube videos, and you're like, man, I would love to work with Krista. I would love for her to be my personal life coach and have her to help me in my personal life and help me achieve my goals and become a life coach and build my online coaching business, then please book a discovery call with me. I would love to meet you and talk with you and just get to know each other a little bit first, and then we can, see if we'd be a good fit to work together. So thanks again for finding me online. And I know that everything happens for a reason. You're watching this for a reason. So please, please trust that. Thanks so much for being a subscriber. Love you all. Bye.